The Polytough metal lath system is highly durable, fast curing, versatile, and combines outstanding waterproofing durability with high tensile strength and fast but controlled curing for a complete system in one day. The system is often installed between the hours of 8 and 5. In today's video, we'll be talking about the surface prep of metal flashings for the system, the sand slurry mixing, and the broadcast of the sand on top of the sand slurry, with the final application of the top coat to make a complete system, along with some pictures of some projects we've completed. This project shows you how the sand slurry can be used as a massive deck and roof to place tile over the top of it. Here we see the metal lath and the sand. Today we'll be talking about the Polytough Super Seal tape application. The Super Seal tape is laid out along the horizontal leg and turned up about 1/16 of an inch onto the vertical leg of the metal flashing. It is tucked neatly into place to prevent any voids, and the plastic release film is pulled out from underneath the Super Seal tape. Hand pressure is sufficient enough to allow the adhesion of the tape to the metal flashing. Again, the tape is pulled out in advance, aligned along the metal flashing edge, and then the release film pulled out in front of it. In pitch pans, the same thing occurs. Here the tape is laid out in place, turning up the pitch pan about 1/16 of an inch, and then with a pair of scissors is trimmed and cut into place. The Super Seal tape significantly reduces the time of surface preparation for metal and copper and stainless steel in place of priming when the Super Seal tape is easily installed and deck coating application can begin immediately. The Super Seal tape laps may be overlapped of 1 inch or butted in place. The Super Seal tape must be coated completely over all the fiberglass so as not to leave the fiberglass exposed to water. The Super Seal tape provides an easy solution compared to a mechanical abrading and priming. The Super Seal tape is coating ready, and once it is installed, the coating may be applied directly over the top of the Super Seal tape. If you have any questions, call us at 866-977-8833. We will now move to the installation of the metal lath and deck coating section of the Flexideck PML system. Here the contractor is installing the metal lath by stapling the metal lath down with 2-inch staples, approximately 20 per square feet. The metal lath is butted to each other and not overlap. The sand slurry will begin to be mixed and applied to the metal lath in the next step. Some contractors, in place of the priming application, will use the Super Seal tape, which bonds to the metal flashing without primer. Here we see a picture, a sloped roof that was converted into an outdoor living deck. The contractor is creating crickets by using the sand slurry and shaping the crickets in slope to drain by using his trowel in advance of the application of the sand slurry over the entire deck. We're watching the contractor here slope deck towards the drain, towards the scupper on the outer edge. I'll let you watch this installation. Look how easy it is. We're now standing back and can look towards the scuppers and see that there's slope created to both of the scuppers so that the pitch of the roof allows for the drainage out the scupper. Here we see an old asphalt roof that is being replaced with an outdoor deck. Again, the contractor created slope to drain. Slope to drain is easily created in a very short period of time by using the sand slurry. There we have the finished picture of the sand slurry, and you can see the picture of the close-up. We are now going to view the proper mixing and application of the sand slurry. We see the 20 mesh silica sand, which will be added to the P-Tuff or E-Tuff Classic. There are the appropriate tools: a 1/2-inch drill, 10 snaps, wire wheel abrader, 2.5 quarts of water, 1 5-gallon pail divided into two 2.5-gallon containers with the 2.5 quarts of water next to it. 1 catalyst vial will be divided in two, and half will be used in each of the 2.5-gallon containers of coating. Contractor will mix the catalyst into the coating, then add the water. 2.5 quarts of water will be added to 2.5 gallons of coating. Then the sand will be added. After the water is added and mixed, 2 gallons of sand is poured into each of the 2.5 gallons of coating with the 2.5 quarts of water. The sand is mixed together and creates a sand slurry. When the sand is evenly dispersed, it is suitable to begin the trial application of the coating. You can see that after the sand is poured into the coating and mixed together, the slurry is still quite fluid, even though it has 2 gallons of sand mixed into the coating. It's important to keep the blade under the coating when mixing, and don't forget, it's 2.5 quarts of water to 2.5 gallons of coating. Now the contractor is pouring the coating out at the far outside edge of the deck. Coating is very fluid. He's using a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch notch trowel, and he will work from the far outside edge along the flashing edge to move the coating. Contractor found an area here where the metal lath was still sticking up, so he's trimming it down. It's important to nail the flashing. Make sure that the flashing and the metal lath is completely stapled down around the perimeter of the deck and around the perimeter of each piece of metal lath. When the coating becomes thumbprint tacky, we know that the coating is ready to have the sand broadcast. Here we see what I mean. The coating is firm and tacky. It leaves a thumbprint into the top of the coating with very little residue left on the finger. Now the contractor broadcasts sand to refusal on top of the deck. Afterwards, in about 2 hours, or between an hour and 2 hours, the contractor sweeps off the excess sand and removes the sand and begins the top coat mixing. The top coat, in this case, is a fire retardant top coat, and he adds the fire retardant powder to the coating. He mixes it together and then adds an accelerator to the coating. He mixes a little at a time, keeping the paddle submerged into the coating. This is important not to entrap air into the coating so that you don't create bubbles at the deck level. The mixing occurs for about 3 to 5 minutes. Contractor takes a 3/8 inch nap roller, rolls the coating on at approximately 100 square feet per gallon. Contractor's not working the coating, he's simply rolling the coating on. Here we see this roof that it was completed, and around, it was detailed around the skylights, the pipe penetrations, and the rest of the roof deck. This is a sample of the actual applied thicknesses of the Polytough metal lath system. It consists of OSB or plywood, regular plywood, metal lath 2.5 diamond galvanized metal lath, the E-Tough 100 sand slurry or the P-Tough Classic, a broadcast of sand on the top of it, and a top coat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how impossible it is to damage this roof to actually make it leak. Okay, this product has been hammered nearly 100 times. We have some surface indentation, no damage to the deck or the metal lath. This is a phenomenal system. You will never find another roof in the industry that would take that kind of beating. Here we have the Charlieville condominium complex, an 8,000 square foot roof where the metal lath was used and a stamped concrete finish was applied over the top. Be sure and ask us about Slayton's cementitious and stamped concrete finishes. We see that it takes lawn chairs and lawn equipment and all kinds of outdoor furniture. Polytough metal lath system is excellent for balconies, breezeways, roof applications that all can be completed in one day between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. in normal weather. Tile can be placed over the roof or cementitious decorative coatings like Slayton's decorative coating systems. The Polytough deck coating systems are installed in one day between the hours of 8 and 5. They are capable of being used under tile, and for vertical applications of tile as well on stairs. Here's a couple of parking structures and parking garage applications where the Polytough systems have been used. Here, a very rough surface was completely smoothed out and coated. In this case, we coated over an asphalt parking garage system with our B-Tough 921, compatible with asphalted concrete. And, of course, we do normal parking garage applications, again, that can be completed in one day.